So you're back on familiar ground this week in Belfast. How's the trip gone so far, and what are you looking to get out of it?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's an easy trip, and obviously in the current climate, there's not many places you can go really. Certainly not out with the UK. We considered Scotland as an option, but it was more difficult for us to get a game. So the game we have Saturday is a good game against Linfield, who are obviously in European competition at the minute. They play Legia Warsaw in the Champions League qualifying round next week. So we're playing a team that is very much match ready, which will be a good test for us. And just everything around the trip. The hotel I'm familiar with, obviously, it's the hotel we use for the national team. The training facility is the same, so it's been good. I think the players have enjoyed it. They've trained really well. We're really pleased with the training, and there's a really positive mood in the group of players. The two lads that have come in, Morgan Fox and James Chester, have obviously settled very well as well. And it's really, this is the first week we've had everyone back in, and it's been a very positive week.
An unusual pre-season, because I would imagine you're not having to do too much fitness work with the players, because they'll still be, relatively match fit, because the season only ended 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we didn't. We gave the players a 2-week break. Some of them only got 10 days. So yeah, the fitness is good. I think some clubs are only starting back on Monday, so hopefully that means that we're certainly going to be ready for the first game of the season. And I just think that certain players are all at different levels, and that's mainly determined by the amount of game time that they've had. So it's important that the players who've had less game time are ready to come in and play. And so that's where we're looking at in terms of the fitness aspect. But for the players who played the majority of the games, the Sam Klukases, the Danny Batts, those types of players, they don't need very much, to be honest. So we're just managing the work that they do, and they'll probably not need as many games, obviously, in pre-season as what a player would normally need.
You mentioned Morgan Fox and James Chester earlier. What is it about Morgan in particular that you like and you wanted to make him your first signing of the summer?
There's no secret that left back's been a problem position for the club. I don't think it's just in my time. I think prior to me coming to the club as well. So to get a natural left back available at no transfer on who's got a lot of championship experience and is a good part in his career. Morgan, I think he's just turned 27. He has ambitions to play in the Premier League. He has ambitions to break in and play on a regular basis in the Wales squad. So I think we're getting him at a good time. We just liked a lot of his attributes, to be honest. He's a good size. He uses the ball well. He's good athletically, and we've been delighted with what we've seen so far.
And James Chester, you knew what you were getting with him. It's no coincidence that we did so well when he was in the side last season while on loan from Villa.
Yeah, James is for me a really good player. He's a terrific lad as well about the place. Really positive. I think that's what we need. We need. There was a lot of talk prior to me coming to the club that the dressing room wasn't a particularly happy place. So you've got to put the right type of people in the dressing room, and someone like James Chester certainly helps that. But it's his level of play that has been consistently good. I felt that whoever James played with, he almost made them better. I think as a centre back, that's a sign of a really good centre back, that he's quite dominant in any pairing that he plays. He's a good talker. People will always talk about, well, he's not 6'3", but he's smart in how he plays the game. He uses the ball well, and he's in fantastic condition. To see a player in James's physical condition obviously means that you hope he can play for a number of years yet.
And having Benik Afobe available might be slightly cliche, but does that feel almost like a new signing as well, because you're working with him for the first time?
Yeah, it does. Benik's been really good since he came in. He seems to be enjoying it. I think the lads are glad to have him back as well. He's looked really sharp in training, to be honest. You get to see players close up when you get the chance to work with them, and it's clear to me Benik has a lot of attributes. So we've got to get him back playing. Obviously, he's come back off a difficult season for him, and come back off a difficult injury. But based on what we see so far, I think Benik has a huge amount to offer us.
And finally, what do you expect from Linfield? As you say, they've been in Champions League qualification action. So what do you expect from them?
Yeah, I think they'll be competitive. I know that lads at this level well. I know the Irish League well. And, there's a lot of players who play in the Irish League who maybe had short careers in England or just didn't make the grade in England. So when they get the chance to play against English opposition, they always have a point to prove. And I think there are a number of Linfield players in that situation. So they'll provide a stiff test. They've got a big game in Warsaw. So they'll be using it for their preparation as well. But like anything, there'll be a number of their players pushing because they'll want to play in that game. So I anticipate a competitive game, and it's a good opening game for us.
And they're managed by somebody well as well in David Healy. Where can you see his managerial career going?
Yeah, David's done really well. I'm pleased for him. Linfield's it's a tough job in the Irish League. Like Linfield is the club that gets the most coverage. There's a lot of expectation there, but he's managed that situation really well. Been very successful. Had a great run in Europe last year where they were just knocked out at the final qualifier before the group stages by a team from Azerbaijan. And I just think that he's made great progress, and I think that the next step for David is probably then to come back to England or possibly Scotland and step into a league of a more testing league, a league of a higher quality. But he's learned his trade at a good level. He's dealt with a lot of situations at Linfield that'll stand him in a good stead, and I believe he's got a really bright management future ahead of him.